emotional about the hounding of the press and the paparazzi and how they were making her life miserable. So I think I did my job.
Matt Lauer was once celebrated as America's most trusted morning anchor, earning an astonishing $25 million per year as the face of NBC's Today Show. But away from the cameras, there was a hidden darkness that would ultimately unravel his career and reputation. In November 2017, a single workplace complaint surfaced, and within just 24 hours, his world collapsed. He was abruptly fired, permanently banned from NBC, and publicly disgraced. What followed was even more shocking. Reports revealed a hidden button under his desk, multiple accusers, and allegations of misconduct spanning back decades. The man who had once been the voice that millions of Americans woke up to each morning would never return to the industry again. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on what truly happened and revealing how Matt Lauer lives now. Matthew Todd Lauer entered the world on December 30, 1957, right in the heart of New York City. His upbringing was far from ordinary. His father, J. Robert Lauer, worked as a bicycle company executive and carried with him Romanian Jewish heritage, instilling cultural depth and discipline into the family. His mother, Marilyn Comer, came from an entirely different sphere. She had been a professional model and later ran her own boutique, bringing elements of style, sophistication, and presentation into Matt's world. As a child, Matt was raised between these two contrasting influences. One side emphasized immigrant values, resilience, and a strong work ethic, while the other revolved around image, charm, and public presence. These early experiences shaped his adaptability, polish, and acute awareness of perception, qualities that would later become essential to a man destined to speak to millions on live television. Show business wasn't a foreign concept to Matt's family. His maternal grandfather, Art Gentry, had been a professional singer who performed during the golden era of American music. While not a household name, Gentry's stage presence left an indelible impression on young Matt, who often observed him perform. Watching his grandfather command audiences taught him valuable lessons. He absorbed how to carry oneself with composure, how to remain confident under scrutiny, and how to use tone and delivery to hold attention. These were lessons in communication and connection that predated any formal journalism training and would later define his unique style on camera. In the late 1970s, Matt enrolled at Ohio University, choosing communications as his major. He was on track to finish his degree when, in 1979 at the age of 21, he made a daring decision. With just 4 credits left before graduation, he dropped out, determined to gain real-world experience rather than wait for a diploma. His first break came as a news producer at WOWK-TV in Huntington, West Virginia. Though it wasn't glamorous, it was the crucial starting point. Matt poured himself into the role, working tirelessly, absorbing knowledge, and proving his worth. Within a year, he had transitioned onto the screen, landing his own talk show segment. By 1980, at just 22 years old, he had already been promoted to on-air reporter, handling both the 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. newscasts in a mid-sized market. It was an extraordinary rise for someone so young, and without a completed degree. His calm presence under live broadcast pressure immediately stood out. He didn't merely want a job in television, he wanted to master the craft. From 1980 through 1986, Lauer's career accelerated as he co-hosted PM Magazine across 3 different cities, Richmond, Providence, and eventually New York. His ability to adapt to each new market was rare, particularly for a host moving so quickly between regions. PM Magazine blended local stories with celebrity segments and lifestyle pieces, requiring versatility and personality. Lauer excelled, learning to read different audiences and sharpening his delivery with each transition. Hosting the New York edition gave him his first real exposure in the nation's largest media market, a significant leap forward in his career. Then in 1986, he landed his first national television role. ABC launched Fame, Fortune, and Romance, a spin-off of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, co-hosted with Robin Leach. The show highlighted the extravagant lifestyles of the wealthy, complete with yachts, private jets, and lavish estates. Though the program lasted less than a year, it gave Lauer nationwide visibility. He was no longer just a regional talent, his name and face were now being recognized across the country. By the late 1980s, Lauer was doing something few could manage, working in multiple cities simultaneously. From 1987 to 1989, he juggled hosting gigs in Philadelphia and Boston while also working for ESPN and HBO. He covered sporting events like the Stanley Cup Finals and entertainment segments for premium cable. The workload was intense, constant travel, sleepless nights, and a punishing schedule, but industry insiders noticed. He earned a reputation as someone who could cover any topic, whether news, sports, or entertainment, and handle it with professionalism. Some even joked that he practically lived in airports. His next major role came on 9 Broadcast Plaza in New York between 1989 and 1991. The live, 3-hour daily show initially seemed like another solid step, but soon took a chaotic turn. Producers, hoping to ride the early 90s shock TV wave, began inviting controversial and eccentric guests. Lauer clashed with management, refusing to compromise his standards. In a notable incident, he even refused to read live ads for a mattress sponsor, a bold move for someone still climbing the ranks. His time there ended abruptly, and after he quit, replacements included figures like Weird Al Yankovic and Howard Stern. The show eventually devolved into The Richard Bay Show, infamous for outrageous stunts like lie detector tests and Miss Big Butt contests. By then, Lauer had already distanced himself, unwilling to participate in its decline. By 1992, however, Lauer was nearly broke. Without a regular television job, he came dangerously close to bouncing a rent check. Then came a lifeline. WNBC-TV hired him to co-anchor Today in New York with Jane Hansen. Though it was an early morning show, it marked his return to stability. Just a year later, he was promoted to co-anchor Live at 5, one of the station's prime evening newscasts. At one point, he was appearing on 3 NBC programs in a single day. His stamina, reliability, and warm on-screen presence distinguished him from his peers. His natural ability to blend professionalism with humanity won over viewers and executives alike, paving the way for national recognition. Between 1992 and 1997, Lauer became NBC's go-to substitute anchor. He filled in on Weekend Today, NBC News at sunrise, and even on NBC Nightly News when Tom Brokaw was unavailable. His relentless schedule had him reporting weather at dawn, midday updates by lunch, and evening news by nightfall. Despite the grueling hours, he maintained composure and consistency. Within NBC, his name became synonymous with dependability. Executives began to view him not just as a substitute, but as a rising anchor who could be trusted in any situation. That trust crystallized in January 1994 when he was named full-time news anchor for the Today Show. At that time, the program was struggling, losing viewers to Good Morning America.